I love Honkai Star Rail to the bottom of my heart. On my knees, I love Honkai Star Rail. But I just can't deal with this update, bro. Literally, I heard the bombs. I heard horrible, horrifying things when I started playing 3.0 when it first released. Literally war flashbacks of Genshin Impact, and I literally couldn't make it through the first hour and 30 minutes of the quest. So this is going to be my letter to the slop company Hoyoverse, and I'm going to give a little bit of backstory as to how we even got to this point. So little old me was chilling, sitting down, chillaxing and drawing, and then I remember, oh my god, Honkai Star Rail's coming out. I pull up to school, my friends there, they're like, yo, you hear about the new Honkai Star Rail update that's coming up? I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. He's like, I loved Fenacone, yeah, I loved Aventurine, And so, me and my friends were like super hyped to play this update. I hop in in the story quest. It's way too slow. It is way too slow. Too much exposition. Way too much exposition. I played an hour and 30 minutes. This exposition is so annoying. I haven't even made it past the exposition. It's like an hour and 30 minutes of pure exposition. And I'm gonna be real. It's not even like Amphoreus was the only story that had a shit ton of exposition. Like Penacony had a lot of exposition. I feel like there was a lot of time that was spent talking about the plot, or not the plot, but a lot of background information, right? But the thing about the background information in Penacony is that it was actually interesting, and it actually had an identity. All of the background information, all the information that we're being told in Amphoreus, it's like Amphoreus doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, oh, I mistook you as an enemy, so I attacked you, and now your sword is broken. Yep. Well, we like you now. Oh yeah, we're also being attacked by these things. These things, yeah, they're like sort of like zombies, and they attack you. So now let me tell you about the entire backstory of this entire world. It was just completely unnecessary. I skipped through all that, by the way. I don't know why I need to know the entire backstory and Amphoreus all the way at the beginning. I don't even know why it would be required. There is literally zero reason why I would need to know this if a current conflict is going on. If a conflict is going on, then naturally, the natural response is that I want to know what I need to know to fight this conflict. I don't need to know about the entire backstory of the entire city if it means that all I have to do is just like punch a few enemies, right? If I have to meet a few people, tell me I need to meet a few people through dialogue. You don't need to tell me the entire backstory of the planet. And the thing about it is that the game is aware of how stupid the dialogue sounds. They give you dialogue options where it's like, you're treating me like a child, I'm just gonna skip through this. And they literally just say it the same way anyway. It's so stupid. Like, you know your dialogue is stupid, so why don't you fix it? I originally applauded Honkai Star Rail for having like out of the box thinking, but this is too out of the box, bro. This is too out of the box because you're aware of how bad your dialogue is. You give the freaking Trailblazer the opportunity to point that out, and this is too meta. This is too meta for me, and you still don't fix the dialogue. Dialogue is not an exclusively Amphoreus problem. It's a problem that is shown throughout all of the game, all of the stories, right? But I think that I can give a pass for at least Penacony, because Penacony had a very good concept. I know a lot of people didn't like the Xianzhou for that exact same reason, is that the concept was hard to grasp on what the Xianzhou wanted to be. And that's why the yapping in the Xianzhou was very difficult to get through, right? I understand that completely. But Penacony had a very good concept, and that's why I could you could get away with all the yapping, is because the concept was interesting. I wanted to read all of that. But when you go into Amphoreus, which is a lot like the Xianzhou, where the identity is not exactly certain, where you don't exactly know the identity of the story, and to make up for that, they decide to just throw a bunch of information at you that it overwhelms you. That's the problem, is that they want to make an identity as quick as they possibly can with the story, when it is a process. It takes progress to do so. And I know that world building is a hard thing. I'm not saying that world building is easy, but plenty of games do it so much better. And like, I do want to compare it to other games, just like Final freaking Fantasy VII. Well, let's just take the remake, for example, right? Even though it's a very popular franchise, they do not nearly make as much as Honkai Star Rail does every month. Like, Honkai Star Rail makes a shit ton of money, and I wonder where all that money's going. Like, where is the money going? Is the money going to the CCP? Or is the money going to, like, these big CEO payouts? Like, I need to know where this money is going, because why are we having a problem just productively telling a story with $50 million or more a month, $100 million a month? Why is it that difficult? Honestly, this video wasn't supposed to be specifically just about the story, but the story is the main issue to me. Honestly, I really only care about the story, but really this all stems from the fact that the developers do not care about their game. And this showed in the gameplay first, right? We have these characters power creeping the entire game, like Acheron, who released during the Penacony time. And honestly, I did not give a fuck because I really loved the story of Penacony. But when you see the fact that the characters continue to power creep every single update, you start to sort of have it play in your mind the fact that the developers really, even though people are calling out these issues, even though people are saying that this is not a good thing, and they continue to release power creep characters, the developers don't care. And if the developers do not care for their game playing audience, which is everybody, right? Why the hell would they care about the story audience? So let me put a picture in front of you to make you see what I'm seeing, okay? So we have the gameplay. The gameplay is getting worse because of power creep. Power creep is essentially where the next character that releases is the best character that the game has ever seen. This is what makes people buy the characters, because they feel like they need the character on their account because this character is going to carry them through everything. Then they spend money. Now, if they do this with the character, if they constantly use the entire framework of the game, they use the entire framework of the game to make you buy the character, why wouldn't they do the exact same for the story? Why wouldn't they do the exact same for the story? They take these banner characters and they unnaturally put them in the forefront of the story, which easily makes the story worse. That's just how it is. If you're going to put these banner characters unnaturally in the forefront of every situation, of every problem, unnaturally, where the only thing that they're thinking about is like, how am I going to get this character in? What are they going to say? It makes it worse. Because with stories and art, it all comes naturally. But when it comes to a framework that is specifically used to make money, a lot of the time it just does not work for artistic ventures, right? A lot of the story is even AI generated, which they have admitted themselves. It's just an unfortunate consequence of a game that just wants to make money. And so many games, I'm not saying that you can't make a shit ton of money, right? I'm not saying what I mean by that is I'm not saying that you can't make a shit ton of money and still have a good story. You can have a good story and make a shit ton of money. That's what I'm arguing for. You can be predatory and have a good story. Like, I'm not saying that you can't, but why do they choose not to? Is because they want to actively use every single aspect of the game to make you buy into that new character or to buy into the characters that are on the banner. It is unfortunate because they don't have to do that. Like, these people, have they played Wuthering Waves? Have they seen Wuthering Waves? You don't have to do that. And the thing with Honkai Star Rail is that it's unfortunate because Honkai Star Rail is one of the easier games to play, and that's why I like it so much, is because it's just an easier game to play, and I don't have to worry about, like, spending my time with a joystick and playing throughout the game like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves. But if it's going to be like this, I might just leave. I might just stop playing gacha games as a whole because, like, this is just so bad. It's just looking so bad for the game. And I appreciate everybody who came in to watch this video. I just wanted to rant a little bit because, honestly, I love Honkai Star Rail so much, but, like, what is going on? And I can't play any other gacha game other than, like, Cookie Run Kingdom, and I love Cookie Run Kingdom. I'm actually loving it. Now, Cookie Run Kingdom does have a power creep problem, but I'm into the story, so do not mess with it. However, the whole thing is just, it just pisses PMO. This is PMO. Like, tis PMO. How are you making that much money and still having so many problems? Thank you for watching the video. I'll see y'all.